Hi and welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We are here in the tailor-made performance centre at the Belfry, and in this video we're looking at the iron shots, we're looking at impact, and we're looking at whether you have got a balanced impact and what you need to achieve a balanced impact. So we're talking a little bit about the club face, and we're going to talk about what we do in our golf swing to influence where this club face points and how those things, as I say, need to balance in order for you to hit good functional golf shots. So before we go into this, we're just going to look at the two ways, or the two main ways, that we can influence where this golf club points. There are three methods, but we're not going to touch one of them today. We're just going to focus on the main two. So if I take my starting position and I align my golf club to the target out on the driving range, as I say, there are two ways that I can change where the golf club points. The first one, and this would be the one that most golfers would be fairly comfortable with, is we can rotate the golf club. So I can rotate the golf club so it points to the right, and I can rotate the golf club so it points to the left. Okay, so that's just me rotating the golf club. The golf club or the handle isn't physically moving, it's just rotating. Okay, that's going to change the face aim. The other way is by moving the handle forward and back. If I move the handle forwards, that's going to cause the club face to point more to the right, and if I move the handle backwards, that's going to make the club face point more to the left. So those are the two things that we can have which can change where the club points. So if you think of it in this way, we've got two sides. We've got things that are going to make the club point to the right and things that are going to make the club point to the left. So the things that will make it point to the right are a twist to the right and pushing the handle forwards. Those two things make the club point to the right. What makes the club point to the left is a twist to the left and the handle backwards. So if we're going to get a golf club which points at our target, and we're assuming we're trying to hit a dead straight shot here where we need the face to be square, we will need something from each of those sides. Okay, we'll need something that makes it go to the right and something that makes it go to the left, which is going to get you a balance. Okay, we're going to get one of each, and we get an agreement, we get a balance. So let's look at what we see from really, really good players. We would see a setup, which is maybe something like this. And at impact, what do they have? Well, they have the handle generally a lot further forward than it would be at setup. So what we've just said here is that's a right element. Having the handle forward gets that golf club to point to the right. Those golfers, therefore, will also have some twist of the golf club to the left. So we've got hands forward, which points it to the right. We've got twist to the left. We now get a club face which is pointing at my target. Now what I want you to notice is I want you to notice my lead wrist. Notice how it's what we would class as flat. It's a flat wrist. If I go back to my setup, you'll notice that that's not quite flat. There's a bit of shape in that, or a little bit of extension as we call it. So when we are twisting the golf club, we said twist to the right and twist to the left, we're actually doing that with our lead wrist. So if I take my sort of position like this, you'll notice that pretty much the leading edge is about the same as the back of my hand. If I want to twist that club so it effectively points to the left, you'll notice how my wrist moves into this more bowed position, and if I twist the club to the right, you'll notice how it moves more towards this left position. So if we're twisting the golf club, we should see that in this lead wrist. So you can see how my lead wrist has got a little bit of extension, a little bit of shape, handle forward, points to the right, flatten the wrist, club points back at target. So good golfers will have what we class as a flat wrist and the hands forward. And they will have to have both of those things to play functional golf. They can't just have one of them, because if I just had the hands forward, the club face would point right. If I just had the bowed wrist, the club would point left. Okay? So you can just experiment with this. Take your starting position. Take this backhand off. Take your left hand and feel like you twist the club to the left, and you'll feel how your lead wrist flattens. The golf club now points to the left. Now move the handle forwards, and you'll see how that realigns the face back to the target. So that's really important, because what we see from lots of golfers is we see lots of golfers where they deliver the handle back like this. Okay, so you can see how the handle is back of the golf ball. Those golfers often struggle with strike. They get fat shots, they get thin shots. When they do manage to strike it, the ball flight is excessively high, and they often find they don't hit it as far as they could do. They're often maybe a club to two clubs shorter than the people they play with. Those golfers who've got the handle back, it is very, very often because that is the best delivery position for them. They have generally, in their golf swing, got some twist of the club to the right. Therefore, if I've got some twist to the right, To get the club to point at my target, I need the handle to be back. So twist to the right, handle back, that gives me a club face which is lined at my target, but it's not the best impact. So for those golfers who have got this impact with a handle back, it's not simply a case of just trying to get them to move the handle forwards. We have to change this lead wrist, we have to change the twists that we put in that golf club to enable us to do that. So what we need to try and find is a balanced impact. Often, as I say, twist to the right, handle back, that is now a club face which points at target, but that is not an impact position I really want to deal with, okay? I want you to feel that we've got the handle forwards, yes, but we've also got some twist to the left, okay? So if you feel like you have got this impact where you've got the handle back, start to look at your position of your lead wrist in the downswing. You may well find that as you're starting down, you've got the club face open, leaning too much back, where the toe is much more behind the heel. If you have got this impact, that means you've got some twist to the right. You will therefore be delivering this club with the handle back, okay? So I want you to first of all try and get the toe directly above the heel, which is going to get this in position. That's going to then allow you to try and get the handle forwards. So this is the drill I want you to go through. Take your starting position, and I want you to feel that you twist the club to the left. That flattens the wrist. I then want you to push the handle forwards until the club points back at target. That's hopefully going to be your impact, and I want you to pitch a couple of balls about 50 to 60 yards through the air. What you should find is that your ball flight is very low, that only probably went about 10, 12 feet high, and it should be pretty straight. You should also find that you get a pretty decent strike on those, okay? So we're gonna go twist to the left, flattens the wrist, push the handle forwards, there's my impact, go ahead and hit a couple of little shots, trying to get this nice low ball flight, pretty straight, and again, you should find you get some interaction with the turf after the ball because the handle is forward. So a good impact is essential for good golf, but understanding how those two elements work together is going to really, really help you. You would not play very, very good golf if you started to get an imbalance. So if I had the flat wrist, which is a left, and the handle back, which is a left, that ball is going to go over my left shoulder somewhere, okay? That doesn't work. We have to find an impact which balance. We have to have something from the right column and something from the left column. Often we golfers get the opposite way around. We get the handle back and the twist to the right, as opposed to the handle forwards and the twist to the left. So understanding this might help you when you go to practice. It might help you to understand a little bit why you maybe can't get the handle forwards and maybe why you're scooping or flicking or not striking the ball particularly well and why that ball's going excessively high. So hopefully just that information is going to help you in your practice. You might find you work towards a better impact, and if you are achieving a better impact, you should be hitting better shots, and that can only be good for your score. Okay, so thank you very much for watching the video. Post your comments down below, hit the like button if you liked it, and if you haven't done already, then please subscribe to my channel. It just means you'll get first access to my weekly videos. Okay, so thanks again for watching, guys, and we'll see you again next time.